Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Curse of Oak Island. A strange new structure leads to huge artifact haul as new tunnel unearthed. As the Curse of Oak Island team searched for an offset chamber, Gary Drayton uncovered a mysterious bounty of artifacts indicating high levels of historical activity on the eastern side of the island. Last night's episode began with the arrival of the Dumas mining crew, who appeared eager to get to work on excavating and stabilizing the garden shaft. Rick Lagaina thanked them, wished them luck, and then left them to their work. Meanwhile, the guys, led by Terry Matheson and Charles Barkhouse, continued drilling in their search for a tunnel connected to the garden shaft, and they were not disappointed. The discovery of part of a wood beam at a shallow depth of 70 feet led them to believe they'd hit a new tunnel. This is particularly interesting because there is no record in the historical documents of any structures built at this depth. This discovery instantly fed into Marty Lagaina's theory of a secret offset chamber that he believes the depositors may have constructed at a shallow depth, away from the water and the flood traps, and filled with treasure. Craig Tester is very quick these days with the carbon-14 dating, and he had some more good news about the wood they uncovered at 70 feet. The majority of the dating pointed to wood from the 1700s to the mid-1800s, meaning it was very likely researcher tunneling. The guys will definitely do their best to locate more of the tunnel along with any secret chambers, and once the Dumas mining crew have stabilized the garden shaft, they will then be able to perform some horizontal tunneling, which will hopefully help the Fellowship uncover any secret tunnels and chambers. Scanning unearths mystery structure, which leads to a trove of artifacts. In the meantime, the guys got some results back from the LiDAR scanning done a few weeks ago. Through the use of a drone, the team had the entire island scanned in the hope of creating a map of any previously missed structures or formations. Geologist Dr. Ian Spooner and surveyor Steve Guptill have already examined some of the data, and they've noted a mysterious rectangular shape on Lot 30 on the western side of the island. It's a massive 100 feet by 150 feet. Ian points out that it's too rectangular to be a natural feature, and Gary Drayton points out that it's quite close to the ancient ship's wharf discovered on Lot 32. Resident archaeologist Laird Niven suggested that he and the archaeology team immediately get their trowels out and begin examining what it might be. A high number of artifacts means there was a lot of historical activity. This discovery led indirectly to Gary and Jack Begley performing some metal detecting on the nearby Lot 32, right by the seashore. And oh my, if they didn't hit a bonanza of artifacts. So much so that Marty, Rick, and Laird joined them with the digger. While working in a very small area, they pulled artifact after artifact out of the ground. It must have been approximately 10 different items. There were a lot of iron items that they suspected may have been related to a stove or grate. But there were also some maritime artifacts, such as lead sheeting, which has been used on ship hulls since ancient Greece. The proximity of these finds to the old ship's wharf and the mysterious rectangular structure on Lot 30 led to the guys determining there must be a link. The sun glinted off the rippling waters surrounding Oak Island, casting long shadows across the muddy ground as the crew gathered at the edge of the newest excavation site. Something strange had been uncovered deep beneath the surface, something no one had expected. After months of drilling, probing, and ground-penetrating radar, the Lagaina brothers and their team stood before what Marty Lagaina called a total game changer. It began quietly, almost anticlimactically, in the southeast quadrant of the Money Pit Zone, just beyond the area nicknamed the Baby Blob. A strange anomaly had appeared in new seismic data. At first, it was dismissed as a pocket of disturbed earth or a natural void. But when the team lowered a camera and saw the unmistakable outline of crafted stone walls, everything changed. Rick Lagaina, ever the romantic, was the first to sense the significance. "This isn't just another shaft," he said in his calm but charged voice. This is something intentional and old." Within days, a caisson was lowered and the massive excavation equipment roared to life. What they uncovered shocked even the most skeptical team members. 30 feet down, embedded in ancient clay and silt, was what appeared to be a circular stone structure, perfectly formed, ringed with wooden beams that still held together after centuries. The interior was hollow, lined with what looked like hand-cut stones stacked with uncanny precision. Billy Gerhardt, manning the excavator, called it the strangest thing I've ever seen come out of this island. And I've seen plenty. The structure defied classification. It wasn't a shaft or tunnel. It wasn't a vault, at least not in any conventional sense. As they dug deeper, they discovered a small, arched opening at the base, almost like a doorway. But it didn't open into more soil or earth. It opened into a tunnel. A tunnel no one had ever documented before. Marty wasted no time calling in the experts. Dr. Ian Spooner arrived with a team of geologists, while Laird Niven stood by to carefully manage the archaeological implications. The tunnel was incredibly well preserved, running eastward at a slight downward slope. Tests on the wooden support beams dated them to the early 1600s, predating the Money Pit discovery by over a century. The excitement on the island was electric. The tunnel extended for at least 60 feet, winding slightly, with periodic alcoves dug into its side. In one of these alcoves, they made the discovery that would leave the entire team speechless. Gary Drayton, sweeping the area with his trusty metal detector, let out a familiar yell. "Boom, baby!" His detector had hit something solid, metal, and old. Buried under a layer of crushed rock, Gary and Jack Begley unearthed a small wooden chest, bound with corroded iron. Carefully, they pried it open. Inside, nestled among layers of decayed velvet, were half a dozen gleaming gold coins. Clearly Spanish, clearly centuries old. But that was just the beginning. Wrapped in an oilcloth beneath the coins was a long, narrow object. An ornate dagger with a jeweled hilt, its blade still razor-sharp. The craftsmanship was exquisite, like something out of a European royal court. Carmen Legg was brought in immediately. After examining the dagger, he offered a stunned verdict. This wasn't just Spanish, it was made for a noble. This dagger belonged to someone important, maybe even a Templar. The possibility sent shockwaves through the island. Further along the tunnel, they discovered more alcoves and more treasures. A rusted iron cross, an ivory-handled compass with markings in Latin, a strange brass cylinder filled with what looked like rolled parchment, now being preserved by conservators in Halifax.